Hi everybody, it's Lychee, and today I'll be showing you how I make this boring journal page into this. So, let's get started. As you can see, I've made 2 other February spreads for this month, and today I just wanted to show you how I go about doing my journaling process. Of course, everyone is different, and even I like to change it up whenever the mood strikes. For example, right now I decided to go straight in with my fountain pen, doing my best to make a nice fancy header for the date, and then fixing up any mistakes with whiteout. I highly recommend getting a bottle. It's a lifesaver. Eventually, I move on to drawing a doodle that pertains to whatever activity I did for the day. In this case, I drew movie ticket stubs for Markiplier's indie horror film, Iron Lung, which is based on a game with the same name. I would give an overall score of 7 out of 10, with the ending scene being my favorite part for obvious reasons. If you know, you know. Definitely the highlight of the movie for me. Going back to the journal spread, a few other things I like to do for added flavor is to place in physical mementos, whether that's receipts, stickers, wrappers, cutouts of scrap paper, anything that reminds me of what I've done or the places I've been to. And that way, it makes these entries feel personalized and authentic to me. You know, just junk journal things. Here, I'm going back in to draw the TWSBI VAC 700 Iris, which is the fountain pen I am currently using for this spread. I also made an unboxing video that week, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. Jumping forward to the next entry, a majority of the following clips will just be me writing. I often like to make bullet points of what I've done or the names of places I went to, then add a small comment about my thoughts. Rarely will I do a full sentence paragraph, but again, when the mood strikes, I do as I please. Journals are all about self-expression, so why limit it? Once the writing part is out of the way and I feel that the entry could use some more color, I like to go back in with my mild liner highlighters, emphasizing the big picture words to stand out when I flip through. I love these highlighters with a passion. There are so many pretty colors to choose from. In this next entry, I'll be putting everything I mentioned before all together on one big page. As you can see, I decided to start with a doodle instead of writing in a title. I had a general idea of what I wanted this page to look like and play around with a few ideas, such as adding in more D&D dice, but inevitably erasing them in favor of keeping things simple. I'm always changing and moving things around in my head while I'm journaling. When I put something down on the page, sometimes it sparks an idea and inspires how another section of the spread may look or feel. For example, I knew I wanted to have a greenish-blue color scheme to help represent the idea that my D&D campaign is heavily sea-related and pirate-themed. Later on, when I used my light green highlighter, the lightness of the color made me think of adding a misty, cloud-like illustration going across the bold title at the top. Small things like that help inform the decisions I make for the layout of the spread. When inspiration strikes, it can come from everything and everywhere. Take everything into account and know what feels right for you, because that's when you start to make things happen. And of course, with so many changes happening all at once, my best friend is always whiteout. Especially because I like to go straight in with a pen and get her done. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all a part of the process. Sometimes we get too caught up in being perfect that it prevents us from making anything at all. One thing that helped me learn to be okay with making these mistakes was from an episode of a podcast called Spilled Ink. The host talked about a Death Note pop-up gallery displaying some of the manga's original art panels, and when viewing them up close, they noticed that Takashi Obata used whiteout in a lot of his drawings. But just because he used whiteout to fix his mistakes and go over it, that didn't make the drawings any less of a masterpiece. Instead, it made his work more humanizing than before. It showed dedication and drive to overcome a problem and be better for it. It showed that even a renowned artist who has helped create arguably one of the top manga of its time can be just as imperfect as everyone else. So I hope this encourages you guys to forge ahead in your own journaling journey and in other aspects of your life, because you'll never know until you try. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Toodles!